This is Unpivot, the show for Excel and Power BI fans and anyone who likes chatting about data. I'm Wyn Hopkins.
I'm Sue Bays.
I'm Mark Proctor.
I'm Giles Male.
Yes, the gang's back.
Wow.
I saw that little grimace with the and Power BI, Giles Male.
Was it and this week? That was the
and
episode.
And Power
maybe
BI.
uncomfortable. Very uncomfortable.
Did you notice last time Wyn didn't actually emphasize it. He actually changed the words. He says
Oh, did he?
for Excel fans
Oh.
and Power BI fans, and it's like there's a lot of
Yeah, I
ands.
did hands in there.
He doesn't actually
Not
know.
Not my best work. Not my best work.
Oh, dear.
How is everybody? What's happening? Can you maintain the excitement, Giles, of your upcoming video?
Oh, I was on a massive high, and then the first thing Sue said was I couldn't watch your rap. I had to turn it off. So now I have lots of questions. What? They're
I do
brilliant.
that. That's me. You know when you watch something on a TV or something and it's really cringy? You turn
That's not getting any better. Although, to be honest, Giles, I feel the same about most of Ricky Gervais's stuff, and he's very good. So, you know, could be a compliment.
That's what I'm going for, Sue.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I enjoyed the rant. I thought this. I've seen two. I don't know if you've released any more. The second one was very good.
Thank you.
Has he done two? Is he?
He's done two.
We've got two more in the pipeline. I mean, I'm not stopping. I don't care if nobody likes it. I'm not stopping. I think it's funny, and that's all that matters.
I think yes, definitely. I'll watch it.
Before we get into things, can I just say thank you to the people who actually listened or saw my post on LinkedIn to say, please leave us a 5-star rating, and actually clicked on the 5-star rating, because our 5-star ratings went up on Spotify. So whoever that was, thank you very much. So if people could do the same thing on Apple, anybody listening on Apple, we've only got like 1-2 reviews. So Apple folk, click that little like. And you lot, there are at least 4 of us having 4 stars. So
still after our wires, and what else did we talk about last week? Why have we not got hundreds?
I know.
Of
Wiregate. Brilliant.
It's because too many people have got wireless devices, and then the mouse runs out of power or it loses connectivity, and they're not able to click the mouse button to click on those 5 stars. If more people were wired, loads more stars. I mean, it's just a technical issue.
Anyway,
you started explaining some Wiregate to somebody at the conference in Vienna last week. I had to cut her off. Just like, don't start.
Oh, that's news. You two were together at a conference.
We were.
You're going to tell us about that, surely.
Yeah. Oh, well, it's the second time we've met properly, isn't it, Wyn?
Yeah.
At the conference.
That's all. It's the only time we meet now, and we must stick to that rule forever.
I've had Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, 5 days with Wyn.
Yeah.
Oh, that's just a lot in general.
It's a bit
5 days with anyone.
No. We were chatting to other people in between.
Yeah, we were chatting to other people in between, but we had a lovely time, didn't we?
We did. There were 4,100 people there. So big old conference. So it's the Fabric Conference Europe. There's another one. Last year it was in Vegas, and next year it's in Stockholm in Europe last year, and then the next one's in Barcelona next year. Yeah, cool.
Wow. And it's just fabulous because because you see people that you follow online, and there's a big community space. So I was manning that quite a lot, so you get to chat to so many people, and you learn techie stuff as well. But the real value is in the connections that you make, and just being able to reach out to people if you have any questions about different things, and it boosts you sometimes, because sometimes I find you can get a bit overwhelmed particularly with and Excel as well, just how much everything is changing and how much work you have to put in personally to stay up to date and to stay current. So and it's just funny because you're with your tribe, your people who love the things that you love, and we You are learning, and it is technical, but you're also having a real giggle.
And what was your biggest running group while you were there? Because there must have been like a whole load of people like, Sue, I run too, let's go.
Yes, actually, yes, you say that. Wyn came over and you went, oh my God, you're not talking running again at one point. Because I bumped into Joanna. Yes, I did. I went running every day and with Matthias Tierbach, who's one of my friends, and he's written Timdal, which is a programming language, which is now in the model view. It's got its own page in Power BI. He's phenomenally clever. But he's such a lovely, lovely guy. And I met him on the Power BI cruise when we went from Copenhagen to Oslo. And so we went running a couple of mornings and just caught up with each other's lives and planned a few things that are on development. And I went running there was a running group around Vienna. And Giles, because Giles and I were in Vienna, we ran Vienna Marathon together.
I remember.
And we went in the spring when it was phenomenally cold. So to go in the summer and run around Vienna with all of the flowers out, it was just beautiful.
Awesome.
So yeah, lots of people running and just chilling.
4,000 people is a lot.
Yeah.
It's huge.
Yeah. Quite a lot of Microsoft folk there as well that I hadn't met before. So met a few of those folks, which was great.
Nice.
Our Query fans will know Alex Powers. So he was there.
Yes.
Not met him
Alex
before.
was
So
there.
He's been quite active on LinkedIn about the conference. I've been following him.
Yeah.
He's been great.
Yeah, and
So
Reddit.
it's
He's a Reddit guy. And they had.
And I better mention Jay, otherwise he'll get jealous that I've mentioned Alex.
Oh.
So Jay as well, who's just released a few new features. It's great.
Yeah.
Really good. I ate a lot of schnitzel.
Yes, you had lots of schnitzels.
Wasn't sure what you said then, but cool. That's good.
And then even to the extent that one night I tried not to order schnitzel and instead I ordered breaded chicken because it was in German, which was schnitzel.
Yeah, we've still got schnitzel.
So schnitzel all along, basically. So there we go.
Yeah. So, but Wyn was very, because I don't eat meat or fish, so Wyn was very good at finding me places to eat that didn't involve margarita pizzas every time.
Or McDonald's.
We were with Christian, weren't we? And he went, you can eat that. And I went, yes, but do I want to, Christian? Wyn said, we can do better.
Yeah.
Off we went and
Good
found
fun.
a lovely little Viennese restaurant.
Lovely.
Oh, yeah.
Very good. And then there was a bit of announcements from there. There was sort of like Dataflows Gen2 is going to be sped up. So if you have Microsoft Fabric, then you get fancier data flows that can load to different destinations. So Dataflows Power Query in the cloud, if anybody never heard of it before.
Yeah.
So with Dataflows Gen2, people were critical that it was a bit slow and you really had to then use Python and notebooks and stuff to make your queries run quickly. But they've focused on it. They're going to improve it and also make it cheaper if you've got long running queries, so you don't get charged as much. So that was quite cool news.
That was interesting.
I like that.
I was up on the main stage. Yeah.
You were up there, Sue?
People. Huge, great pic video of me. So saying what I like about Fabric. Yeah.
She
featured
on the big screen, as was Christian, as was I. So all three of us were like fist bumping at the end. It's like
we were like that, and we were all sat together. We were like, oh,
look, it's on the big screen.
We were famous
for 5 seconds.
You were famous. Now you're on this tiny little screen with me and Giles.
Oh, but this is a happy place to be. Can I do one more running thing, please?
Oh God!
Well, we can't stop you, so yes.
Yes.
So, well, I'm running Chicago in 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks. But, and anyone who's listened to any of my talks or anything, I am running Boston in April 2026. I have my place. I'm running. I'm qualified, and I will be running Boston Marathon. So anyone that is into marathons knows how big this is. Anyone that isn't, it's like anyone that runs marathons, it's their dream to have a Boston qualifying place. So yeah, I'm so excited.
Good luck.
Thank you.
So will you have a target in mind? Are you gonna does that inspire you to train extra hard, or is it just
Well, yeah. If everything
Give it a
goes
good
to
old
plan,
go.
I've got 3 in 3 weeks in April. So London 6 days after. So I'm hoping that I'll get a qualifying time for London as well.
No. It's too much. Too much. I'm tired hearing it.
Oh, and I'll stop after this. So there's a couple of our listeners, Mark and Ronnie in particular, that have joined me on Strava. And Mark has suggested, because we're going to run Athens in November. There's a few of us running Athens in November. This is what we were setting up in Vienna as well, a WhatsApp group. So any of the listeners that want to join us in Athens in November 2026, we're going to be running Athens Marathon. But it was suggested, Giles, by Mark, who said it's the best marathon for fun. Not you, another Mark. And you could do the Medoc Marathon, where you have red wine and oysters at every stop. I think he said it took him about 6 hours plus.
Yeah, I'm in for the red wine and the oysters. I just don't want to do the running bit now. I'm done.
Well, we can do the run and walk it.
Over the last fortnight, I think I've tried about 10 different types of cheeses, and I feel like that's where I'm going to focus my energy for the foreseeable future.
Any recommendation?
No, I had a French friend stay with me, so she brought a bunch of. I've never had somebody travel with cheese. Arrived and brought cheese out of her suitcase. Amazing. So I didn't know what half it was, but it was very tasty. And I feel like that's probably where I'm going to focus most of my attention for the rest of the year. But let's chat about it again in 2026, Sue. We'll see how I feel.
Yeah.
You've given up on the Guinness plan and you're now on the cheese plan.
Oh, Guinness is just a constant.
You are achieving both. That is amazing.
Yeah. Oh. I think it's an achievement. Absolutely. Yeah. Thank you very much.
Before one goal, the Guinness plan. I mean, that was nothing. You're going for it. I love it. Love it.
So I've qualified for Boston, and Mark is super impressed. Giles is doing Guinness and cheese.
Guinness and cheese. That's two things. You're doing less running.
I'm living my best
your
life.
Audience.
Just going for it. Yeah, YOLO.
She wouldn't get those cheeses through Australian customs. They'd be ripping them right off straight in the bin.
I feel like only a Parisian could travel abroad and open their suitcase and be like, "Hey, I've got cheese." Oh, that's unusual. Okay, cool.
Yeah,
try that. What are we talking about today? It definitely wasn't running cheese, was it?
No. Well, we're going to talk about conferences eventually and what it's like going to them. But have you and Mark got any other news or things upcoming, or what have you guys been up to the last couple of weeks?
Well, I mean, Giles has got a big event coming on the 30th of September, haven't you?
It's a MVP music video 2 will be out in, what is it, Friday, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days, 4 days. So yeah, that's going to be pretty crazy. I mean, to be honest, we've been sat on it for kind of 2-3 months. So obviously there's editing and stuff going on in the background. I'm so ready to just get it out there and see what people's reaction is. I hope everyone likes it. It's bonkers.
So is it going to the On the Road YouTube channel?
Yeah, I've changed. So everything's got the Humble MVP tag now. So, but I think, to be honest, the main one will be LinkedIn and probably YouTube.
Yeah, cool.
But yeah, it's going to be fun.
Exciting.
And also sharing more of Giles's news. I don't know if you are aware, but Giles is what's the right word? Unfaithful in his podcastness.
Oh, we're not monogamous. We are not monogamous.
I thought we were exclusive, Giles. I thought it was this podcast, but no, you've gone off and thought, you know what? I need to start a podcast about financial modeling with AI with a whole load of other people.
What can I say? It's just different, guys.
Comes on here, disses AI, then goes off to his other best friend.
Yes,
how great AI is.
He did.
In my defense, we are trying to essentially review and assess very openly and honestly to cut through all the hype and rubbish that is being spouted by some people on certain platforms. So that's the intention.
Cool.
Not monogamous.
What is it? Sounds good.
It's me, Paul Barnhurst, aka the FP&A guy, and Ian Schnorr, who's the founder of the Financial Modeling Institute. So we've kind of assessed the market. I think there's about 10 or 15 tools we're going to look at initially, and then we will run them through a bunch of tests. I'll be focusing on esports challenges and whether they can solve them and to what degree. Ian will do financial modeling. Paul will do FP&A tests. We're just going to review them and we'll talk about them, see what works, what doesn't work. It's going to be good fun, I think.
Well, that sounds really interesting.
I think we need it just because there are some big claims being made all over the place. And like Paul, Ian and I spoke last week. We're all on board. Like, we want it to work, but we just don't want the hype train to get too crazy. And it does feel like it's got a bit out of hand in certain areas. But I apologize.
Some people asked me I was running training course the last few days, and some people asked me to demo Copilot and Power BI. And I just did a demo that I've done before, and it just stopped and said, can't do that. That's my experience, folks.
Yeah. So did you see the big Copilot news that it's now you can link it to more than one LLM? So it's linked to Anthropic now, which I actually think is a massive bit of news based on just some of the things we've already started testing for this podcast. But that seems like a huge step in the right direction for Copilot.
Yeah. They were talking about that at the conference, about making sure that it's that you can link to any, I think, an MCP server or LLM, or making it very much open source.
I think it's a good move.
Any news from you, Mark? Where have you been? What have you been up to?
I've been on a conference the first few days of this week.
Oh,
so it was all about how to create better memberships. Yeah. So
okay,
because I run a membership, this isn't like a random thing. Like, hey, he's interested in the concept of a membership. I mean, that would be
it's fully tax deductible.
Yeah. Where was it?
It's good. It was in Newcastle. There were some good speakers. So there's I've got a notebook full of things that I want to implement. So that's going to be it's going to be good. Cool. It's going to be lots more of me being live in person.
Did you actively seek that out, or did they do some good targeting with their advertising that you found out about the conference?
I actively so there's a few podcasts that I listen to, and one of the podcasts is a podcast about memberships, and they mentioned that they had a conference coming up. So I then signed up specifically for the conference. But yeah, lots of good stuff about focusing on transformation, not power query transformation, but the transformation that people want, and how you improve people's ability to ultimately finish and get the success that they need. So it's all about just helping people to progress faster, sooner, get the results that they want.
Yeah,
that's fascinating.
Cool.
So yeah, there's
a conference for everything, isn't there?
Yeah, there is.
Wow.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Oh, that's so up your street. I bet you really enjoyed it. Did you make any friends?
Any runs?
Even use the word data. But it's interesting. You have to describe to various people. You have to describe what you do, and so you've got your lanyard on. So I've got Mark Proctor, Excel off the grid, and I was talking to this bloke, and it was about his business stuff. It was going on, and he just looks at me and goes, "So what's it like living off grid?" I don't live off grid. He's like, well, what's that about? I did disappoint him.
Because you excel off the grid.
Yes. And as you walk around, literally, you get people like so you meet someone, and but half an hour later they come back to you and go, "It's a clever play on words, isn't it?" You go, "Yeah, that's all it is."
You've been thinking about it for half an hour. That grid. Oh, grid. Wow.
Yeah, it's just a loose play on words. That's it. But yeah, so that was good. We
excellent.
Yeah, I would highly recommend it to anyone who runs a membership. If you don't, then
Next
there's no
year.
point, right? Go
Next year,
go join,
Sunderland.
go join some other group, that meets your needs, knitting, whatever it happens to be.
Yeah.
But it sort of links to the question of the week, which is at 10 minutes, no, 20 minutes in, 25 minutes in, which is how we've all got to know each other is through meetups and conferences and events. Because I met Mark at the London Excel user group, I met Wyn at SQL BI, and I met Giles at the London Excel meetup group in Munich.
Yeah, wasn't it? Sorry, it was
Munich. Yeah, right. In Munich. And it's those relationships that you make that, I can remember it's a couple of bits from each thing, but it's the people that make the difference in developing your working career. Personally, I think.
There's things like I don't want to get too much into the question of the week before we've started.
Let's start question of the week, Tree.
There you go.
We had
21 minutes in. Good Lord. Are we comfortable with this? This is early.
We've got a hard finish today as well, so we may as well. It might be.
Have we got your news, Wyn? Have we had your news before?
I was talking about. I was in Vienna, so my news is I got 4 seats to myself on the long haul flight back to Australia. Yes, that is the greatest thing ever. So laying out flat for 10 hours, having paid coach or economy or whatever you want to call it. So
how was the neck pillow?
Yes, so the neck pillow we have. I got Wyn's neck pillow. I used it to fly out from London to Vienna, which was only a 2-hour flight in the morning, and I slept for an hour. With the neck pillow, which I thought was genius. Went to put it back in the bag, and the bag split.
So don't say that. We're trying to get some sponsorship.
Yeah.
So I have to send it back, but I need to sort it out before.
But it did do its job. Its primary purpose worked.
Yes. But on the way back, I didn't really use it because it was all big and the flight was completely full. You had 4. I'm surprised it took off. Everyone from the conference was on the flight.
I'm surprised it took off. That full.
And everyone from the UK was on that flight.
So cool. Right. Yeah. So neck pillow's good.
So we stopped and had food. Yeah. And which was very good because on the way back, the M5 was shut in 2 places. So there was no food. So I'm very glad I had pizza with.
No wire news? Anybody updated their wire collection? Lost wires, tidied wires, straightened them, broken them?
No. Could have done with taking an extra Austria adapter, European adapter plug.
Yeah.
Let's not get into that. We don't want to get our ratings too high.
A regular feature at the end of every episode. What's the update on wires?
Yeah,
anything changed?
Yeah,
I mean, my wires bag came with me to a half-day training I did. I took it. I arrived. I got out my wires bag ready, and they're like, "Oh no, you can just use the Wi-Fi and you can log in straight into the screen." I was like, "Okay, I'll do that."
But you had a backup, which is the important thing.
I did. I was ready. I was ready.
Always have a backup. The only other news was DAX user-defined functions. So basically, for those Excel fans, you got lambdas in Excel where you can basically structure formulas. So now you can do the same thing with DAX. You can have DAX patterns that you can then pass things into, which will then run and save you writing the long formula over and over again.
Yeah. I remember that from the quiz. Do you remember the quiz? Because one of the questions was, what does UDF stand for in Power BI? And there was 2 answers.
Yeah, and there still is.
Yeah,
so there's user data functions and user-defined functions now.
The user-defined functions, though, you can copy the measures from one model to another. So you can literally have a whole list, a whole script of all of your DAX measures, and you can because you always use same period last year or year to date or what's the variance or things like that. So as long as and then you can use the parameters. So generally your date table is the same because that's one of your templates. So the only thing you need to parameterize then is maybe your fact columns. So you can just drag and drop the whole list of model defined DAX in, and then just change the parameters and it should work.
Sounds great. I mean, that's kind of the benefit of all the argument for lambdas in Excel, isn't it?
Yeah.
So yeah, sounds great.
Yeah.
There's a bit of a
So if you've got your because you've got like a Power BI template file that has stuff already pre-set up. So does that mean you would have your user-defined functions already there?
Yeah, I would.
Therefore, you just open up your template and then you can build your model faster.
Yeah.
Nice.
Because generally it's, you're using pretty much the same type of measures. And then of course the visual calcs. So the brilliant thing is now we have visual calculations in Power BI. So quite often what you find when you first start building Power BI reports, you build your reports and you build your measures, and then as you grow in skills or the requirement is more complex, then you need to have specific DAX for specific visuals that won't necessarily work on other visuals, and it's just for this one thing. And so now you can build a visual calculation that sits purely within that visual, and it doesn't bloat out your model. It just sits and it's for that purpose, which is also brilliant.
Nice.
In my opinion. Yeah.
I know the SQL BI guys and a few others are setting up like a central GitHub
central
repo for everybody's sort of patterns, so like a centralized Lambda library, essentially.
Yeah.
So it's centralized UDF people can use.
I was chatting to Jake Duddy, who's part of our user group, and they're working really closely together to make sure, because then you can submit any. It's like a community site. So the aim is that we're stronger and better together. So rather than hundreds of people, thousands of people creating the same type of measure, you have it once. But what they're trying to do is to standardize it as much as possible, so that you use where there's consistent keys or fields, you use those. So they're working hard to try and make it as easy and user friendly, which is just brilliant. So I mean, some of the minds behind these things. So Kurt Buehler, if you are one of our Power BI users, I would strongly suggest following Kurt Buehler. He works for SQL BI, and Tablet Editor. They've just brought out a whole new free course on UDFs. So the way that they're empowering the community with lots of free, all of their Tablet Editor courses are free courses. I mean, it works because they're encouraging you to use their tool, so you can see the commercial reasoning behind it. But the content is good.
It's interesting how in the Power BI space, you get user-defined functions. Like, let's all join together. Let's be better together. In the Excel space, it's kind of like, no, I'm going to build a better Lambda than you. No, mine's better than yours. Mine doesn't use this function. Yours is volatile. And it's everyone just trying to, like, having a little scrap about how better their Lambda is than somebody else. But your arguments have underscores. Mine are just one, mine's camel case, therefore it's better. I use characters for my arguments, but no one understands it. And in the Excel world, it's like this I want to be better than you.
Going through my head. That was kind of what was going through my head as she was describing that. I mean, but I think that Craig Hatmaker is my best example. I don't know if you know Craig, but he's built this kind of 5G methodology, so really pushing hard on pre-built lambdas, and he wants them to be like certified for the same reason. So like, if you get them properly, so this has been his argument forever. If you have lambdas that are pre-built that are certified and tested, ideally by Microsoft, but by somebody reputable, then the argument is not everybody has to understand all of the logic, but you can use them for the value. So that has not been universally accepted, in part by me. Like I still have this two parts to my brain of like, black box versus keep it simple and open. But it's not been quite taken up the same way you just described it, Sue.
Well, to go back to Mark's, but before I started my business, I used to lecture, And I used to lecture in business and IT, and I then progressed to lecturing in computing. And within business, it's very much like you suggest, Mark. The more, if you want access to resources, you have to pay for them. They're not shared as freely, and again, this is my opinion. Whereas you go into computing and it's just open source everything. I mean, that's why Python's so good, because it's open source. And it's a very, I found in the lecturing field, it was a very different feel to resource sharing and knowledge sharing within the business sector compared to computing.
I think as well, the world, or certainly the databasey programmer people, are much more comfortable or experienced with Git as well.
Yes.
And the Excel world is like what the hell is Git? And it looks scary, and there's all sorts of things going in and out. So this whole thing of being able to sort of, suggest updates and then sort of push those updates if they're, good ideas, and branching off things, it's just so alien to the Excel community that that's the ideal platform really for. Yeah.
A little spoiler for you, because I'm sure you won't tell anyone else, but this is one of the things that Matthias and I were talking about running, is that I'm sort of half business, half computing. He's a full-on programmer. He's phenomenal. He wrote Tyndall. So we're conscious that there is this gap, and we're going to work together to create. We're not quite sure how we're going to do it yet, but we really want to enable the self-taught business users to understand about Git and version control and how you can use it to improve your development.
Start a podcast, Sue. That's probably the best option.
Well, I think we might do, but I think we might do it with a bit of training. So I don't know if we're going to do I think maybe any idea is welcome, but a half-hour lunch learn with Sue and Matthias, or Matthias and Sue.
Yeah.
But he teaches me, because I have to understand things, and I ask very simple questions.
I'd tune into that.
Would you?
Yeah, because I'd love to learn more about it. I genuinely feel like all Grid Excel users have to learn more about this anyway. So I would tune in.
Yeah, cool. The version control is an alien concept to Excel folks. Everything's just production version live. All edits are made to the live file. There's no testing.
Cool. That's a positive view on version control with Excel users.
We all know that's true. That's not true. You get version 1, version 2, version 3.
Well, this is it.
Final updated.
Version final. This is really the final version. Version use this one, not the final version. That's how you handle version control, and we all know it, and we all know that's the way to do it.
And it works. It works. Foolproof plan.
Works.
Yeah, we're going to be able to do it with Power BI, because they have you're able to now save, or you will be able to save your Power BI reports as PBIP. So it's a new format which allows you to have like a binary file, which can then track changes. Like it uses hash. Basically, it looks at different things to see if they're the same or not. It transforms the language that it's written into numbers, and then it's able to I'm doing a terrible job of explaining it, but basically it creates two hashes of each of the different reports, and then it looks to see where the changes are.
It's actually useful track changes comparison side by side, telling you what you changed.
Oh yeah, and it highlights.
Whereas Excel's track changes is Bob changed cell 5 to 100, and that's about it, right? There's 16 columns inserted and 17 rows and a new chart built. Track changes is out.
I mean, you can do it in Excel in SharePoint, because if you save it in SharePoint, it shows you all the different versions, but it doesn't necessarily show you what's been changed. Whereas if you use Git, then every time you commit a change, you write down what's changed, so you're able to then roll back to different points if you want to get, because you can see what's been changed.
I see the problem now. Sue thinks that Excel users make mistakes, and therefore they need to roll back. See, that's your flawed assumption. We don't make mistakes. No.
You just don't click save until it's right.
Yeah.
Listen, Sue, we know how to use a VLOOKUP. We don't make mistakes. We are perfect.
I know how to use a VLOOKUP. I've never done an XLOOKUP before, though.
Yeah,
I know.
daggers. Right. Question of the week. Okay, let's go. Let's have a lovely little tune. And we will go for, where's the accordions today?
It's the question, it's the question, it's the question of the week. It's the question, it's the question, it's the question of the week.
What's a banger?
That was quite Austrian, wasn't it?
Right, kill it. Question of the week then. So conferences, top tips and networking. What are our recommendations? Any tips, any advice for people? Any experiences you'd like to share about your conference and networking lives? Anybody want to kick off with this one?
Can I start with one tip?
Yes.
Go to them. Because otherwise, because like there is a huge, because honestly, you can sit at home and you can watch things online. You can watch a huge number of things online. And the truth is, you just hide. You've got your camera off. I don't want anyone to see me. I'm just hiding here. I'm just watching stuff. And the sessions are great, right? They should get top-notch speakers, but often the best bit is what happens outside of that, where somebody else just comes up with some offhand comment. Oh, I might use this in this way. And you're like, that's genius. I'm going to steal that idea. Because you never had the idea. So it's the conversation that with other people in a similar situation to you that then really helps to drive new ideas and benefits.
Yeah. I'd say that maybe 30% of sessions I go to are actually good. And when I say good, I don't mean somebody's presenting it badly. I just think that can be the case, but it can be the case that it's either not right for me. Like it's very hard to pitch to the right level for 4,000 people, right? So either it's too simple or it's too complicated. So finding that sweet spot, in a conference can be like, it's for me, it's often not the right sort of medium for sort of learning things. But to Mark's point, all the stuff that goes on around it and seeing the people presenting and chatting to them afterwards and stuff like that, that's the gold for me. That's what I love.
Isn't there a stat somewhere that we only retain on average kind of less than 20 or 15% of any information we hear in these kind of talks? So I always kind of keep that in my mind. Like when I go to the Global Excel Summit or the Bulgaria one coming up, I don't tend to feel like I'm going there to really kind of putting pressure on myself to learn, but 100% I am going there to engage with everyone and speak to people in the networking sessions. I don't know what advice I would have for them other than just, to Mark's point, go and force yourself to speak to people. I think I haven't met many people in this space that are filled with ego and wouldn't talk to people. So just go, be yourself.
There's only one person in this space I can think who's filled with ego. I can't think.
Who's that?
I can't think his name. It'll come back to me.
Yeah.
Ego.
Make sure you let me know if you remember it. Tell me, because that's outrageous. Not in this space. I'm not having that.
Yeah. For the females out there, I went to my first technical conference in Bulgaria at the Excel Days with Boriana, and I didn't know anyone, and I went on my own. And Ken Pulse was doing a workshop, so I wanted to go for that. And Alan Murray, who runs the Excel London user group, I don't know how, but I can't remember if we reached. He realised I was going, and he reached out to me, and he met me, and he was my buddy basically, and he took me around and he introduced me to people, and he sat by me, and he was just so lovely, and that made me feel much more comfortable. And I know SQL Bits, for example, are really, really keen on this. They have buddy talks beforehand so that you can join Zoom or Teams or whichever it is and meet up with people before you go. So if you reach out, if you are apprehensive, and we all feel it, so don't think because we're all sat here waxing on how wonderful it is scary walking into a room full of people that you don't know. Always reach out to the organisers before and find out who else is going. If you're flying somewhere, there are people on your flights that you can work out how to get to where you're going to before. So I find that really useful. And someone told me a tip about networking once. Join a group that is not just 2, maybe 3, because 2 can then carry on the conversation and 1 can join in and chat to you. So don't necessarily join a 2, join a 3.
I like that. That's good.
Yeah.
What made you to the Bulgaria one, Sue, then? What was the trigger that you thought, I know, I'll go to Bulgaria for my first conference?
Well, I thought it sounded really exciting. And
Cool.
And I think it was Ken's workshop because I was using Power Query a lot, and I really wanted. And I mean, his stuff was good for me. I hadn't discovered you 2 yet, and so
Ken's stuff is good.
And I just thought, but it was just before COVID, and I just thought, do you know, why not? So it's my general philosophy in life. Why not? Why don't I go? And I wanted to learn from Ken. I wanted the workshop from Ken, because if you go to the workshops, I think that's where you tend to learn more, because it's in depth, but it does cost more. So you need to be a bit more selective about the workshops. But I did this on my workshop. I did a Python workshop at SQL Bits, and I said, right. And I explained, I said, when I went here before, I sat next to Christian Angiel that we've had on before. He's now one of my buddies, one of my friends, and as we sort of knew each other online anyway from taking part in Alex's 30-day Power Query thing. And I said, I want you to sit and to turn around to the person on your left, person on the right, person behind, person in front. Just chat to each other and introduce each other, because you're going to be sat with each other all day. And if you get stuck, there's one of me, and there's, I think it was nearly 90 of you. So you can ask each other rather than waiting for me, because otherwise, you're stuck. But also it's a way to make friends and contact. So I got them to do that. And then if you're on your own, you've got someone that you can hang out with for the rest of the conference.
Yeah, it is awful. It's not awful, but it is a pretty awful feeling when you just sort of arrive at conference and you just stand there. It's like, right, I know nobody.
Yeah.
Who am I going to go and chat to? Like a complete Billy no mates, and just thinking you feel really awkward about it. But really, if you spot somebody else who looks like he's doing the same thing as you, honestly, just go up and just say hello and sort of, and just introduce yourself and have a chat. You're both there for the same thing, to have a chat with other people. You both like the same topic, you're there for a reason. Yeah. So it is a case of, and my other tip is, if you're be conscious, if you are with people and you sort of see somebody just sort of loitering on their own, just sort of, invite them over to chat into the group and stuff as well, because it's what you'd like somebody to do to you. As well as just that walking into a group of 3, which is a good tip, Sue. I like that. That's a good point. Just saying hello. Everybody's up for a chat.
I think before going, this is going to sound a bit silly, but it's worth going on, like Googling or using ChatGPT or something, and asking the question, like, can you give me 5 ways to conversation starters in a group, and also 5 ways of how to leave a group. Because the phrase I used a lot over the last few days was, "Hey, do you mind if I join you guys?" And actually, no one's going to say no to that, because I've started with the word "hey." It seems so relaxed and casual. No, we're having a private conversation here. I think you're fine. Like no one's going to say that. No. So you kind of you just have to do it in a reasonably polite way. But it didn't really happen in the conference I've just been, but sometimes you can be stuck in a conversation like, I just want to get out of this conversation. It's taking a weird turn. And if you like, it's all right if you got a coffee, because then you're like, I can, if I finish this coffee quickly, you can say, I'll just go and get another one. Like, so if you've got like a mild activity that you've got, you can finish that activity and then excuse yourself. But try and think of some ways that before you even get into that conversation, how can you leave that conversation while making the other person feel good about themselves, rather than just going, you're dull, I'm moving on, which would not be a good option.
One related to that, one tip I was given years ago was about if you're in like a business networking type thing, and and also, you've gone there, you may be there for half an hour, and you sort of start to get not dominated by a person, but you're there a bit too long with that one person. What's the polite way to excuse yourself? And the thing was, ask the person for their business card. People don't tend to have the business card. You go, do you mind if I get your business card? And then they hand it over and you go, right, lovely to chat to you. And because you've sort of said you're interested in them, and it gives you permission to then leave. And it actually works quite nicely. It's sort of like, yeah, sure, there we go.
Do you not think, what I said. Do you think sometimes in those, well, quite often in those moments, if it is two people and you're getting stuck, usually you're both aware in your own head that this is getting a bit stuck, so it's like you're both kind of trying to find the way. It's not always the case. There are some people that have zero self-awareness of what's happening, but quite often you are there. So the moment you do say, like, to your point, I can have your business card, or like, hey, it's been great to meet you, I'm just going to go and mingle a little bit, or, most people are really on board with that anyway. I do take the point that there are some people that will not stop no matter what you do.
If you're hosting an event as well, or if you're it's your company or you're networking with people and there's other people you can also hand off people. So, just not in a nasty way, but just go, oh, actually, you're in this space. Let me go introduce you to.
You get on really well with Wyn.
Yeah. And then you just sort of, and say, right, I'm just going to go and have, as you say, I just got to chat to a few other people who have just arrived and stuff like this. So there's a few different techniques. It's always a little bit awkward, but everybody's just there. Everybody knows that they're there for a chat about this particular topic. So,
I mean, Microsoft did it really well with the community lounge. They have a community
that is
lounge.
good.
And Bits do this as well, SQL Bits. And so, there are lots of different activities to do. You could collect stickers, which then got you prizes, but which is fabulous. It's fun and it's great. And we were playing games and all sorts. But what it does is it gives people that don't necessarily know anyone somewhere to come. And, and so I had the best conversations with people about different things. And it's about just giving them a purpose to, I'll just talk to you about getting this sticker or this thing. And quite often it's not about the sticker. It's about chatting to someone about something. So, if you're organizing conferences, that works really, really well. And, if you see someone like any of us, just come and say hello, because we don't necessarily know your faces. We don't remember names and such like, but you don't necessarily remember I don't know faces. So people come up and say, oh, I listened to you're on the podcast, or I join your meetup group. And I love hearing from people like that, because you get feedback, and it's nice to know, to put faces to the names. So never feel daunted about speaking to anyone that you recognise as well, because we like it.
I would say if you get really desperate, on your phone, set an alarm for 10 minutes time, so that the sound is like your ringtone, and you don't set it too loud. And in 10 minutes time, when that thing goes off, you just say, oh, that's my phone. I really need to take this, and you can leave without looking rude. Or you can take your phone out. And don't show them the screen, obviously. Turn it off and be like, oh, I'll take that later. So you can kind of pre-plan an exit if you're really scared.
Have you done that? Have you used that before, Mark?
Do you not remember the first time we met, Giles?
Your nan had an emergency. I remember it vividly.
Yeah. And then a few minutes later, my other nan had an emergency, and a few minutes after that, my other nan had an emergency. Yeah, I mean,
I hope they're all right.
Yeah, it's, I think getting involved, and just if there is that sort of community area, again, just going up and taking part in a few things, and just getting photos and chatting to the person sat next to you. Like if you just, is that seat taken? And then you're like 3 or 4 minutes before the sort of session's about to start, just ask them, are you from this area, or, what's your background? What's your role in things? Are you a Power BI person, or are you an Excel, whatever it might be, right? And it just, those little chats, then you might bump into that person again. And if it's a couple of days in the conference, the next day, and it's easier then just to waltz up and go, oh, all right, how's it going? That happened a few times in the Vienna.
Yeah, it works. You could end up running marathons with them.
Or eating cheese, whatever you want.
Or eating cheese.
Or eating cheese.
What about sort of any survival tips for conferences and things? Is there anything in terms of, any hacks that people have? Sort of, are you
survival is in like energy?
Yeah. How do you, like, I was really like, I'm a, computer nerdy person who is quite happy on his own for quite long periods of time. So speaking with people for 3 days, I just find like quite draining by the end of it. It's just like, oh, geez, I just used to go outside and have a bit of a fresh air and a walk around, just quiet.
That's what I was going to say. So I felt this at the Global Excel Summit and probably in Vegas last year. I didn't beat myself up for not attending everything. There were a few sessions I didn't see because I was just a bit tired, and I wanted to get some water, go out and have a walk or a chat with somebody. So I certainly mentally gave myself that freedom to approach the conference however it worked for me, which is quite often dip in, dip out, grab a drink, have a chat, get some food, whatever it is.
Absolutely. Take a water bottle.
Yeah.
Would be mine. Take a water bottle. Take snacks, because sometimes the conferences are good with food, sometimes they're not. So take food.
What was it like in Vienna? Was it good?
No.
No.
Not really.
I mean, 4,000 people as well. Blimey.
The food went quickly. Food went very quickly. It was
Microsoft were working Sue too hard. They made her work through lunch and everything.
They did 12 to 2. I missed food quite a lot.
Just shocking.
Food brought to me at one point because I was just like missed food, and then I missed. It's my own fault as well. But yes, so take snacks. Take water. Take a water bottle that you can fill up, because there's always water coolers, but sometimes you get just like the little cups, and then it's just not enough.
How much water should you be drinking? Because I was chatting to Christina Ferris. I always forget.
Christina.
She was saying she had this big water bottle on her with little buttons on the side. So when you finish one liter, you click a button and then you fill it up again, drink that. She's going through 3 or 4 liters a day. Is that normal?
Well, I mean, it's supposed to be at least a couple, isn't it? Isn't it like 2
liters?
2 liters?
Much for me, that.
Yeah.
I mean, drinking that much at a conference is a bit risky, especially if you're in rows.
Sneaking out.
Because, part way through the morning, you're like, oh, I'm in trouble now. And then the person who's presenting just keeps talking. Oh, I'm a bit embarrassed if I suddenly jump up and, have to leave, and it gets a bit awkward. Yeah. So, maybe reduce down your water intake during a conference just for a little while. Just
have
survival technique, Wyn.
That is good. Yeah. I had one of the last sessions I went to, and I was pretty tired of sessions and stuff by the end. And I went to one that turned out not to be what I thought it was. And I was like, I know the British in me made me sit there for sort of another 20 minutes past the point where I thought I should have left. So I can't walk out. And eventually I just got so mind-numbingly fed up of what the person was saying, because it wasn't of any interest to me whatsoever, that I did actually just get up and sort of sneak around the back with that slightly sort of a hunched look. When you creep out, even though you're 6 foot tall, you sort of think you're 2 inches shorter, so nobody's seeing you sneak out. So I sort of embarrassingly walked out, rather than some people proudly walk out, which I think is just rude. I think you should at least do the creep if you're going to walk out.
I did leave one, but I went out quietly. But it's only because I realised that I had 2 hours in the community, and if I didn't eat anything, I wouldn't eat anything for the rest of the day. So I was
fair enough.
I've got to get some food. So if you are presenting and someone walks out, it's not often because of what you're delivering. It might be they've got a train to catch, or they've got another commitment, or they've
come to the wrong
they've
session.
got food. Sometimes you do have to leave. It's particularly in a big day conference. If it's something like a meetup online, then no.
Although I do find it a little bit rude when people leave like with 5 minutes to go, because there's always a gap, but they want to get to the coffee or get to the drinks or something. And like they're making a big racket when the speaker is still speaking, like literally, 50 people leaving, 300 people in a room, just because it's sort of getting close to the end and the sort of speakers wrapping up. So it's just like, just wait for them to finish and, tell you the final closing comments and stuff.
What do people think about when you've gone to quite a short session, maybe it's about an hour long, and the
I know he's going to say. I already know what he's going to say.
And someone falls asleep.
Do you know what I think?
Asleep in those sessions. I mean, has anyone got?
I was going to say, Mark, I think the worst thing for me would be if someone fell asleep in my session.
Yeah.
I would find that really insulting.
It is really insulting.
Yeah, just don't know what to say. Had a couple of Guinnesses. Was a long day. Speaker was a bit monotone. I'm joking. You were great. The bit I was awake for was great.
Yeah,
the bit you remember.
So someone was telling me about that, and they said they went to take a picture of you. Who was at the meetup?
What? Who was that?
I'm not saying. They noticed you were asleep, and they went to take a picture of you, and they turned around to get it, and you must have realised that you were, because you then put your
it must be Dave. We're talking about Dave again, right? Dave, yeah. He stitched me up. I'd gone away with it.
No, it was funny.
Any closing thoughts? What's happening? Anything coming up for anybody? Obviously got the video. Marathon. So you might not be here for the next podcast.
Yes.
Cool.
It depends on time. I'm in. I can't quite believe my life, but I'm in LA. So I'm flying to LA to speak at a conference at Newport Beach. So depending on time zones and what's happening, then possibly not.
Yeah, because that'll be properly early in the morning.
Yeah, and then Chicago Marathon, and I'm so pumped for it.
Hopefully that goes well.
Thank you.
Have we got some? Let's not mention names, but have we got special guests for the next?
We might have.
I think we have, haven't we?
Ooh, special guests.
Being
cool.
replaced.
Some secret special guests, I believe.
That we definitely.
I'm very, very upset I can't be here.
2 guests, maybe.
2 special guests.
Wow. Excellent. Looking forward to that.
If I can join, even if to sit in the periphery and be quiet and just soak it all in, I will.
Cool.
I'm looking forward to seeing the video. Can't wait.
Yes.
Actually, please do. If you could, I might put this out on LinkedIn. Actually, if people could record their reactions watching it, I think that would be quite funny.
Yeah. What time on Tuesday?
Great question. You're assuming a level of organization I don't have. Tuesday.
No.
Tuesday. UTC,
marketing machine in the background will be Giles going, oh crap, got to post.
By the way, Giles, thanks for reminding me to publish last week's episode.
In Vienna. Yeah, no worries. No worries.
I just hadn't even send. So I'm off camping on a rainy weekend down 3 hours south of Perth. So that'll be me in a summer tent, but in the rain. Rain's forecast. So beachside camping for a couple of days.
Nice.
Not actually looking forward to it. More of an Airbnb man myself.
Beaches are nice, but you need to go somewhere to get the sand off.
Yeah, I like a balcony and a veranda.
Do you have to worry about spiders with beach camping?
No. Snakes. Snakes probably, but not so much the spiders. So that'll be my weekend. Yeah, be fine. Anybody else doing anything? All
We've got
good.
snakes on the sand.
It's the esports. It's the World Championship qualifying round tomorrow. So because
Ooh.
I'm still trying to compete to get in the finals, I'll be taking part in that.
Oh, good
Okay.
luck. Good
Thank you
luck.
very
Or
much.
yesterday when this goes out,
Oh, or today,
depending on when you're listening.
it goes out. Yeah. I'll
If
have
you're
done it
listening
by
in 10 years' time, it's 2025.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Thanks
Who
for
knows?
watching. Why are you here?
Thanks.
What are you doing?
Thanks for watching.
You've got nothing better to do with your time than watch a 10-year-old podcast.
Is
Excel?
merge cells still a thing? I'm
Is
asking
Excel a
the
thing?
future people. Is Excel still a thing?
It would be quite an interesting question to say in 10
Ah,
years' time, what do we
Time
think?
capsule.
Set a question of the week, but for 10 years.
Oh,
Is
future
Skynet
predictions.
the dominant force in the world? Do we exist?
Cool.
Are
Right.
humans around? On that
Next
note,
time we're doing a time capsule predictions. 10 years predictions.
I love this idea. Hang on, can we not end yet? So how are we going to do this?
No, we've got to
We could
end.
do a proper time capsule of like maybe for us in a year, and for AI in 10 years. Maybe we should do 2.
Yeah. And we just come back and critique our guesses.
Yeah.
So there was
we
an
get a prize.
episode of Blue. So Blue Peter in the UK is like a kids program, and they always used to do time capsules. It was like a regular.
Yeah, love
but,
time capsule.
but apparently, they were digging up the one of their gardens or something to build this new building, and they found a time capsule that they had previously buried. And I thought that defeats the purpose of a time capsule when you just even forget it's there, because otherwise it's just junk in the ground, isn't it?
Oh,
Yeah. Well, that might be how it ends up. Right. Let's wrap it up. Cool. We're on time. We can get on with our days. And I've got to go and fill up with petrol ready for my little trip tomorrow morning. So lovely.
Enjoy.
Yours. Enjoy, everybody. Catch you all later.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.